a hell of a storyline when you think about this team probably didn't set their sights on the major on the first time that they're going to be playing in Division 1 with this current roster. So if they can push through that, beating the major title holders right now, Gaimin Gladiators, that's a heck of a storyline.
For sure, and I was just kidding. I was listening to the panel. I do agree with a lot of things they have to say here. This draft that they got going on, it's very one-dimensional, it's very aggressive, and it does not have room for much air. That's the big things that are going to be takeaways from here. But it is a good route if they do want to beat Gaimin Gladiators, a team that probably is just stronger in most aspects when it comes to decision-making, team fighting, everything like that, mechanically. But if you just run them over, win 3 lanes, that could be your ticket to victory. This is a really clever smoking so far that's been brewing. And just to get it canceled just like that by Tofu saying, oh, they're here. But do you see how they wrapped around there? Yep. All the way through the tier 2 tower? That would have been cool if it worked out, but unfortunately.
Pretty untraditional rotation there, but almost getting connection onto one of Gaimin Gladiators' heroes. Also talking about, we've discussed a multitude about what's a good matchup versus the Ember in the mid matchup, and you get yourself a Husker. You know, the Husker should dismantle, should destroy the Ember Spirit, but how does Quinn play against this? Because, you know, at Zantic, he's a specialist on some of these very scary heroes. He's a gold tier Husker as well. How does Quinn get this lane into his advantage? We'll talk about that in just a moment, let that thought brew. As Ace and Tofu both chasing Hakoda, attempting to get a kill. Shad's going to slow them down with the Mystic Snake and keep them at bay for the time being. Going to get hit by another mine, blow up a bit of that extra mana. Shad should be completely fine. But what do you think about the mid matchup for Quinn?
Oh, it's definitely going to be difficult for sure. But he is no stranger to playing matchups like this, right? So he's going to get what he can. How is he going to win it? I can't really answer that one. It's just by getting more CS than Exantic, if he can, but it's not going to be simple. The first couple levels are going to be very imperative to how well this lane does go, because Huskar is not a hero that is strong in the early levels. It's mainly around that level 3, level 4 timing where you start to get bullied super hard, but we're already seeing in the mid lane who's bullying who.
Exactly. Quinn starting off with a great advantage there. 8 CS compared to the 3 on Zantic. And the side lanes, nothing too special yet. D1 Hustlers, they got poked a bit by Gaimin Gladiators with this techies, trying to buy space for the Darkseer to farm up, which is exactly what Ace needs here. And of course, Hakoda has to retaliate with aggression to buy space for Shad. And Ace gonna get bashed up as well. Potential first blood here. That's a big wand heal though, which is gonna be the difference maker, keeping himself alive.
But still not healthy and very far away from that ring of health. So this bot lane for Shad and Hakoda going super well. This Darkseer only got 3 CS right now. Incredibly low. As Hakoda is going to salve up here.
Yeah, just a fresh salve off of the courier. Get yourself back into action. Quick rest and rotate once again. And of course, the top lane, which we haven't really discussed too much about right now, is Quinn's fairly low in the mid lane, just going for that water rune for himself. Duratio with the Faceless Void up against the Violama on the Axe. And of course, Time Dilation is definitely a deadly spell in this game. Pretty much hurts every single hero on the side of D1 Hustlers. But then again, we've talked about the Violama, his positioning, his aggression. Has the team got themselves that right mindset today? Because the challenge is obviously, we know it's difficult for them. They know it themselves is a really hard matchup, but they could actually benefit a lot out of the Violama just going for these crazy aggressive plays.
I wouldn't say they would benefit from it. They need to do it. This is the type of lineup that they opted into. I saw this Medusa pick, and this isn't really a Medusa strategy. I started out with it. I was like, all right, we got a Medusa, Spirit Breaker. We got the Shadow Demon Illusions from Medusa. This is starting to look like a Medusa game, but then they pivoted. Instead of picking an Aura Buyer in the offlane, they picked this Axe and Hakoda. Okay.
Boy, that's a tough life for the Spirit Breaker. First blood going for Gaimin Gladiators. Off the hands of Tofu. Bringing down that first kill.
Yeah, and to finish my point off here, like the pivot they made of picking this Axe who doesn't buy anything, as there's of course going to be more battling going on, but it looks like nothing should really be happening there. They don't have auras, and their mid laner doesn't make space. So this draft has to snowball. The Huskar has to have a good game, the Axe has to have a good game, and on top of him having a good game, he needs to find kills on the map with the Huskar. And that puts Medusa in a weird spot where she's going to be like insurance for this game, just in case it does go to that late game. But if things don't go well in the early mid game here, they can't fall back on this Medusa just to be that 1v5 type of carry, because they don't have the heroes to support that.
We've already seen one of those games here in the West European DPC where I believe it was Secret that were playing the Medusa, and they just got stomped in 10-15 minutes off the game. Tofu, he's going to get charged, but Hakoda needs a bash to secure the kill, but the vacuum is going to cancel it. The tower also takes part in the action, and Ace is going to find his first kill. That's 2 in total from the same lane.
And those are big kills as well, because this lane, CS-wise, was not going well for them. They're picking this Axe as well in the top lane. His primary function, on top of being able to just lock down the Void later in the game, this is supposed to be a good lane matchup, but Celery playing the Enchantress, now level 3, is telling you, nope, this is not going to be a good lane for you. I'm going to keep throwing these impetuses at you. Now he has the level 3 with the creep here. They might try to make a play here.
Got a good combination of spells here, and that the Pine Cone flying out, the Seed Shot for the kill. The Violama trying to chase Celery, but Celery feels like he's just the one kiting the Violama at this point with that enchant, but the Violama going to keep
He's wasting so much time, even the mid lane
Battle
game.
Hunger available here, still trying to chase for it, taking heavy amounts of damage. You've got the Shadow Demon also TPing in, and that is going to be the end for Celery. But even if this kill does go for Violama, you said a lot of space created for Duraccio, who's taking over the lane. That's 2 creep waves for him.
Yeah, and some more. He has perfect lane control, total free farm. There's no way that Celery's mad about that death. He's like, yeah, I just made so much space. Consider top lane even more one than it already was. And great start here. And we wanted to check up on mid lane here, and Xantic's doing it. This is the start you do want. As a Huskar versus the Ember Spirit. Completely crushing him. Quinn just has to go back and stack camps here, but look at that. Quinn's camps are even blocked with the Sentry Ward.
Gonna hinder him a bit. The Violama in trouble though, gonna get sold up by the time dilation. And Duraccio and Celery should be able to close this one out. Axe just making them work for it a bit, and the tower actually gets the split kill. And nobody farming in the top lane as well, as Tofu's pretty much in trouble, but Theoliker are only able to get 1 Shadow Poison connection. That's not gonna be enough for the kill.
But they have denied the rune.
Yep.
And they have the catapult.
Life break with the charge, and Quinn's gonna get deleted at Xantic. With the help of Theoliker and Hakoda, will get the first kill for this Huskar. Quinn's not off to a very, not a very shiny start at least. Gonna have to hold on to some scraps and, you know, basically a bit of a weather the storm situation. Theoliker gets to barely TP out.
But he is fortunate in a game like this. Both his side lanes are doing okay. Sure, you're still free farming on the Medusa, but you're getting something on the Darkseer. I think that's the big thing for them here. So he'll have a little more space. I think what Quinn really wants to have, though, in this game is
gotta be careful. There's a Celery coming out from the side, and the Mud Golem and the Impetus Spears ends up being the downfall for the Huskar. Ember looks to survive as well, getting those extra bottle charges in between. So not even a kill on Quinn. Very important kill for Gaimin Gladiators.
And that's even better than what I said he would probably have to do. I was going to say, he's going to probably have to get a rune and leave mid lane, but, you know, if the Huskar dives you like that without the armlet ready, and you have support there, getting a kill on that Huskar is even better. So that's kind of the just recovery road here for Quinn. He doesn't have to do a lot in this particular game. Just survive and make some rotations, because it's going to be that mid-game timing where the Violama just... He's not going to have that Blink Dagger as early as he will want to have it, based off his laning stage.
That's another action rune taken away from the Ember Spirit, and Celery is going to be the target here for Xantic, and closing out this Enchantress with the life break gets the kill. The Wolf is still trying to do some work on the SD here, but the damage is not quite sufficient. Celery with some good micro attempts trying to get a return kill on the enemy support. Not quite gonna happen though.
Ace is just kicking out Medusa from the jungle. We do see Shad. He likes to play his Medusa here. Usually has the same farming patterns, farming those 2 bat camps there. Ace realizing that and just taking them out for himself.
And also this Darkseer off to a pretty swell start. Is actually the top net worth hero for Gaimin Gladiators for the time being. And that is pretty important. You do get those big items, those big aura items on your Darkseer, help out your team, enables this Ember Spirit to stay alive a bit longer in team fights, and of course that the Void doesn't just die when he chronos or wants to initiate on the opponent. The Darkseer, very durable hero. Getting a lot of backup for his buddies. Hakoda charging into mid. Softening up Quinn here, and the charge will connect, and maybe they can get some few punches in, but a lot of TPs. Nice blast off from Tofu. Disarm kicks in, and there's the Chrono. They will get the Husker. They'll look up the Spirit Breaker kill as well. He's got no charge available, and with the time dilation, definitely not so. And Gaimin Gladiators rotating with the carry, getting a kill, and 2 on top. That's just the Husker. That hurts a lot losing, but Gaimin Gladiators just being faster with these rotations and not being afraid.
Yeah, and instantly smoking out here as well. I'd want to hear the communications on that. I'm sure Quinn was saying to Duraccio, hey, Huskar's going to dive me again. He's playing like a psycho. Just have your TP ready. And these kills definitely... I mean, that's just how you have to play Huskar most of the time, but bleeding these kills is definitely very bad for you. Especially if you lose your Dusa here. That was
Shad.
Massive.
Great connection here. Blast off is available. Charge is coming in. But this Medusa already down a half of that mana pool, and no more Mystic Snake available. Shad in huge trouble. Wall drop down as well. Shad does get the Mystic Snake off and buy some time, but they will take down Tofu. And now Quinn still on the chase, wants this Shad kill, and he will get it. That's a double for the Ember Spirit, and also finishing off the Shadow Demon on the side. Maybe the Darkseer might lose his life, but that Vanguard, it's a bit too much for this Spirit Breaker to work against. And just toying with their prey for the time being. Divine Llama getting killed off in the top lane by the Duraccio, and a triple for Mr. Quinn Callahan.
And just like that, Ember's back in the game. Same net worth as the Huskar. All that early game, the whole reason you drafted this Huskar, crush this Ember, make sure he doesn't have a good game. Well, guess what? He's got a good game now, and that's a big point of concern here if you are the D1 Hustlers. But Xantic, he still has a pretty decent game. His 2 deaths really hurt them. But the axe, it really hurts. He was almost had that blink dagger. I guess he's going to tick into it just now. It's time to go now.
They are coming to the top lane. He will reveal that blink. And the Duraccio still has the Time Walk available. Pop this Mask of Madness, though. He wants this farm. He's going to get it. The Llama, not really an opportunity for him to just blink in and initiate. That's still a level 5 SD. No Demonic Purge. Needs another creep wave for it. He's going to stick around. Clear out that wave. Meanwhile, Quinn battling it out in the bot lane. Shad gonna have to get some backup here, and Hakoda has to rotate to help him out. There's a Remnant available, and another one coming off cooldown, so that's just gonna be Quinn poking and kind of reminding Shad as well that you are never safe.
Yeah, Quinn is bullying the Medusa. He doesn't want to go back mid, because who wants to lane versus Huskar at this point in the game? I think probably absolutely no one. Maybe Celery can do it on the Enchantress. So they're just going to play the game of keep away from the Huskar, and Quinn gets the added benefit of stopping.
They're just going to jump this axe right away. He does get the call off on Hurricane into the mines. And into the Chrono as well. It even catches the Olicur on the side, so this SD, even despite him dropping his ult onto this Faceless Void, doesn't really help too much. The Llama to go down.
Word is Xantic is in town, so they're backing up a bit.
I was trying to go for a vac wall initiation there, but decided to cancel the cast. While Quinn finishes off the bottom tier 1 tower with Gaimin Gladiators. They've got a lot of company in this top lane.
I still don't think they want to fight Huskar. Without Chronosphere, it's going to be hard.
Kite it out. Wait for the cooldowns to come back up. And look for the best possible initiation. It really does put the worry on Demon Hustlers, right? Like, they're the ones who kind of... they're forced to make the moves. In Gaimin Gladiators, they can just play this kind of defensive, responsive Dota.
And this is just how their draft is going to function.
It's a very troublesome Enchantress kill, which will not work out. And Shad is down to ace with Quinn. And they get to fight as well in the top lane. Blastoff does connect. Spirit Breaker, 4 more seconds, but the time dilation on top of him. And the mines to explode. Tofu getting the kill. So that's 2 heroes again gone from D1 Hustlers. And Gaimin Gladiators, they're up to 14 kills right now. 3K net worth advantage.
And I have to go back to just the draft here and how important it is that D1 Hustlers get these kills, and they're not getting them. You see this Axe, they don't have damage. So the problem I have right now is Axe is the type of hero you pick in the off lane if you have an active carry, because Axe is go, go, go. He wants to kills, he wants to keep fighting, he doesn't want to sit back and farm, he doesn't really have much team fight to offer. He's just a skirmisher, you want to get kills. And then you have a Dusa who's the opposite. Dusa kind of wants to play with someone who wants to team fight, like a Darkseer, for example. Buys the auras for you, gets you into the late game. And then you have their mid laner, an Exantic here, that wants to go too as well. But then you have this Dusa, just wants to farm.
Oh, dear
they have different things.
Oh, no. Worst possible situation. He was charging in for vision, stops the charge at a mine on the rune, gets blown up, then there's a second mine, he gets hit by it, and Quinn shows up like, hey, he's been tendered up. Thank you, Tofu, for that.
Tender beef there, and Hakoda chooses not to get a point in Bulldoze. A little surprising. The 40% status resistance, just for the value point, is quite good. We'll see if he picks it up at level 7. Could save his life in a lot of instances.
Possibly could, yeah. They did only manage to get one of the Wisdom runes. Another one has spawned on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. Not in a rush to pick it up either. We'll keep on scaling up into higher experience the longer it waits.
So who is going to do damage when Axe blinks and calls? That's my question.
That's a pretty good question. I don't have an answer for you, Fear.
It has to be the Medusa or the Huskar, I suppose.
It has to be the creeps or the neutrals or something that allows more spins.
Oh, there you go. So he has to do it himself.
Yeah, he has to do it himself. But now Ace is going to get initiated on. A couple stacks of Burning Spears. Ace turning up slowly, but the Huskar's in trouble right now. Going to get bubble saved for the time being. Ace is very low. Devilama does get the dunk out. And at the same time, Medusa showing up for the fight. Xantic is already down. Quinn still fighting with the Oliker in the back line. With that Maelstrom doing a lot of damage. Tofu will fall to Shad. And Shad trying to battle it out with Celery at the same time. But Axe going for the call. Doesn't quite connect. And Quinn able to jump out of there. Do you want Hustlers losing 3, but getting 2? Is probably
was
the best
5
trade they
versus
found
4,
in a while.
Keep that in mind. I mean, it was the best trade they had in a while, yes, but they had 5 heroes there, lost more heroes, and Dyrachyo is still free farming. It's still better than them just getting wiped, I suppose. Either way, they need something bigger here. I'm glad Medusa did show up, because I think the Stone Gaze into the Axe Call is going to be a combo that they have to rely on.
Xantic, he's putting his vengeance on the Wild Wing Ripper. He can't get the jump on the Enchantress. A bit too far away.
Got him.
Mid T1 tower just dying to creeps. Gaimin Gladiators didn't have to do much heavy lifting there, but they're locating Shad. And Dyrachyo going for the Chrono. Got the Medusa trapped inside of it with Quinn coming in for the backup. And Shad, no friends, no allies. Where's my team? They're smoking up for a retaliation fight, but the mine has located them. They're going to get hit by it.
Oh, he's got a rune. They're going to have to purge
Jumping
it.
onto the Ember Spirit, but a nice root coming out. The two-man chains from Quinn. Tofu in the middle. The Oliker to drop, and it's Xantic. He's the next core to stand his ground by himself at the Violama, trying to go for the TP out. He's going to be able to, but none of his teammates did. He's the lone survivor. And Gaimin Gladiators, it's just a walk in the park for them, right? 8K lead, 22 kills. Everything going to plan.
And it feels like the D1 Hustlers here, their timing, their idea of how to play this game feels a little bit too late for them. The lanes didn't go the way they wanted to. Well, mid lane did go the way, but a couple aggressive dives, to say the least, swung that matchup right back into the way of the Ember Spirit. And poor Devi Llama, he just hasn't had a game quite yet.
Doesn't feel like anyone really had a game. Yeah, even with this Axe falling in the top lane, Shadow Demon coming in for the rescue, but there's just too many tools. There is one, but the Hellbear. Nah, Quinn's he's gonna take it. He's on a godlike spree right now with this Ember Spirit. Not even the Hellbear Smasher gets to squeeze in the Thunderclap kill. But like you said, he hasn't had much of a game. Shad, he's not even in the game yet, technically, playing the Medusa.
He's not in the game.
Huskar has already kind of lost his best timing with this Ember Spirit being brought back into the game fairly early.
Yeah, if you're Huskar in this game, you want to be sitting on some Roshan or something like that, hitting a tier 2 tower with a net worth advantage. None of that is happening.
This guy's he's just bullying Hakoda at this point. You want to destroy mines? Well, I got taser for that.
Indeed you do. You just have to make sure not to hit the techies, else that will instantly disarm you. And still no status resistance.
Blink call onto the Ember Spirit, dropping down the Demonic Purge, back wall onto 2. The Vile Armor,
the damage
just
from
soaking up
Celery.
hits from Celery. This guy's just annihilating him, and Quinn will finish him off.
Quinn's just a
Again,
KS.
another kill.
That's all this is. Celery's doing all the damage in these fights. Quinn's just cleaning up.
No. Celery's been really good on this Enchantress this game. Not gonna lie, this guy's been all over the place. He's pretty much been in every engagement. Well, I wouldn't say every because his KDA is 15 out of the 25, but definitely high in activity around the map and impact. Yeah, kill participation isn't everything. There's a couple solo kills have also been happening. Quinn and Ace playing together, but Celery's impact on this Enchantress.
Oh, they found Shad here.
At this point. Oh, again.
Target acquired. And Quinn is just gonna stalk him down. It's like, where do you want to go, buddy?
He's like, you want to TP? I'm saving my chains for that. Root comes out. Manta used. Hakoda also charging in. Finds the techies. Wants to help out his buddies. Maybe they can get a Tofu kill. Looks like it might just be the case.
Buying some time.
Chad gets the
You
lift.
have to wonder if
Again, the
Ratio
chains go out. They got the Nether Strike onto the Darkseer, and Divine Lava blinking in for the call. Taunt on 2. That's another hero dead, but Quinn, Duraccio coming in with that Chrono. They've got the Husker. Bubble safe for the time being as Hakoda will drop, and now putting their attention towards the Husker. He's rooted up, and he's held in place. No armlet toggles for you today, sir. Another charge from the back as Hakoda. He has bought back. Wants to finish off Quinn here, but no charge for you. The charge gets disjointed with that slight.
And Divide catch him.
Away. Baracho coming in for round number 2. Okay, just gets a casual kill on the Oliver. It's going to be put to Quinn's name, of course. Maybe another one for Quinn. Okay, Duraccio wants some of them for himself. And now Shad, he's left all by himself, and that's going to finish off the team wipe Gaimin Gladiators. It's an easy game, I'm saying.
Where's the discipline from the D1 Hustlers? They just got baited in there. It's like, hey guys, I'm going to charge the Ember Spirit. Surely this is going to work out. As he baits him back with the Fire Remnant, disjoints with Sleight of Fist, which is the easiest thing to do in the world against a Spirit Breaker. And then they kept chasing after that too. They're like, all right, let's continue, let's go. And of course, Celery, just no respect on this man's name here. Just trying to run through him, but he's just slapping away with these impetuses, doing tons of damage. And they're like, oh, I guess we're dying to Celery, guys. Let's back. But it's too late at that point.
Celery is a really big Wild Wing Ripper enjoyer. Always running around with that pesky bird on the Hurricane. Very good saving ability. Also, it's like a variant of a cheap Force Staff anyway. So, Force Staffs that were super popular in the previous patches.
Could be even better than Force Staff in some
Could
situations.
technically say, yeah.
Because you don't have to be facing a certain direction. It is vector targeting.
Exactly.
And Roshan, that's going to be the big one here. And you've noticed, I would call these moves from the Hustlers, it looks like they're overextending, but they also understand this game is not going well for them, and they've hit their timing. Well, I wouldn't say they hit their timing, but they have to play to this type of timing, and everything is Gaimin Gladiators reacting.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all they have to do. They just need to react with Chrono, maybe when they get their Roshan Aegis available with another Chrono available. I think it's time where Gaimin Gladiators can really put on the heat and just run into D1 Hustlers if they really want to. So far, all we've really seen is just them harassing the Dusa, poking at Dusa, seeing if they want to commit, nothing too committal, and then being, oh, she's actually alone, then now we can commit type of situations. But now they could just run into some 5 vs 5 if they wanted to with this Aegis in hand, and the Aghanims on the Darkseer.
That's going to be another objective on the sides of Gaimin Gladiators. It's going to be the first tier 2. Finishing off the bot lane here at 23 minutes. 16,000 gold lead, triple core lead as well on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. Everything going their way. And D1 Hustlers just going to have to try and split around the map, trying to push out top, trying to push out mid. Buy enough time for this Medusa to get these big items. And of course, maybe the Axe can pull off some miraculously good RNG spins. And of course, relying about those donks as well is going to reduce some of the damage Quinn and Duraccio are going to be applying onto this Axe. but they need so much time. I'm not sure even if time TM is going to be enough.
Oh, it can be, but they need a lot of it, as you said. But not only time, but they need to win a team fight too, and that's going to be the most challenging aspect of this game. As we do see Shad going straight for Silver Edge, maybe that will be like the surprise Pikachu effect with the Axe Call to bring the damage they need to burst on.
Eventually, yeah. Makoto, however, found by Tofu and Celery. Spirit Breaker just, you know, pushing out waves, trying to keep them at bay. Violama gets to pick away the Invis rune from Quinn, but Quinn, he no longer needs the bottle. Already has the items that he needs for this phase of the game.
Yeah, he's quite happy right now. All the cores are really happy. Even the supports are happy.
Call. Is that going to be enough?
Aegis.
Okay, there goes Aegis, and can they reset and disengage? That's another question, though. Atsantic trying to make a run for it. Ace with that normal punch.
No.
Takes down the Llama, and Atsantic the drop as well. Celery, he will get this one. He's been doing a lot of heavy lifting, so I guess he's earned and deserved this one kill. Ace, however, gets the Oliker in the high ground. And that is pretty much, if this tier 2 tower falls, that's a ticket to high ground, force out some buybacks.
I like the attempt there. I'm trying to catch him out alone, but Dairacho, unfortunately, was too close to his teammates there. And they paid with their lives. There is no Aegis, though, but losing both your Axe and your Huskar for that, and not even getting the Chrono out of it, definitely hurts. They'll probably poke the high ground here, but I don't think they're going to commit to a barracks here. If they do, this might be an opening, as there isn't a wall available.
8-second BKB still up on the Ratio. So they're just going to chill, but that tier 3 should be falling as they take it down. Myalama looking for the call, but not quite getting the connection. Going to get time dilated and also pushed back there and pushed away. Now he's just getting forced movement all over the place. The Myalama to drop, and the Ratio, he's got the Chrono, he's got 3, and he's just going to snap the spine off of D1 Hustlers here inside their own base, in front of their own fountain. Huskar coming in with the buyback, trying to make a turnaround here. Ratio getting the reset for the second, and also the Gaze coming out from the Medusa, forcing out Gaimin Gladiators, but really, you're not forcing them away in a defensive manner. They're here to stay.
Celery's just going to kill him. All right, he missed.
Armlet toggle,
He
but the
almost did,
GG
though.
call, that's, you know, it's a bit of a heartbreak for D1 Hustlers. The team that has so far in both of their series before, they've been able to beat Game 1 if it's gone into a 3-match.